Aviva. I'm still at 9, Fellini. I did a video and I uploaded it to YouTube and I sent you a link, but it's not what you asked for, is it? I just came back from getting gyros and cigarettes and coffee at the Dopamine Cafe. It's the best place for coffee, makes great sandwiches. It's the end of Hechalutz near Bialik. FYI, they open early, always there, very nice people, oldies music. They were playing Ray Charles today. I'm half awake. Well, I haven't slept, so I'm half awake. You wanted to see the door. I can't, if I slam it, I'm gonna have to call the cops to open it. So try to close that door. So here is the problem. You cannot lock the door. And someone at 10:45 yesterday came in. A man came and scared me. Forced it open, and I instinctively pushed it shut, and then I couldn't open it. And then I panicked and sent you a bunch of panicky messages, having a panic attack, feeling claustrophobic, not being able to breathe, because there's no ventilation here. You can open that window, it's louvers, and then there's one way up there that I covered because otherwise everyone can see when the light's on in here after dark and there's no privacy, and it's like a few inches, not exaggerating from, I can go outside and show you how close it is to the sidewalk. It's like right on top of the sidewalk. The other side of this wall is the sidewalk, basically. And if you put the light on at night, then they just see that there's somebody there, and not that that stops them from making noise, but it's not quiet. It's like, there's a whole like symphony of noise that starts very early in the morning with trucks that are delivering, police sirens, ambulances. It's near a hospital or 2 or 3 hospitals. B'nai something, I don't know. You can look it up. It's loud. And then it's right near the sidewalk, so people are not yelling, but if you're in this unit, you're hypersensitive to sound, not a good match. And I don't recommend a dog or any pet, and it should be one person with 1 suitcase, and that is what he said. And I do have 4 suitcases, and that is a lot. You can squish it all in here. It's like a Turkish apartment or a Turkish hotel room, or what I've seen on video about Tokyo. I think I want to go to Tokyo and compare, because they have better storage there, and this same size unit could be, I don't know, redesigned so that it's easier to put stuff away. I did put stuff under the bed, and that's all of it that was under the bed. It's really hard to open that futon if you're disabled. And it took a lot of strength, and I couldn't keep it open. So I had to hold it over with my hip to get the stuff out of there, and then now it's on the bed and half of it's in the suitcase. I still have a couple hours before the taxi drivers come in, but yeah, I can't always understand myself because I don't hear very well. But I plugged that in to the computer, and that's the door. And let me show you what happens. I'm not going to push it, but this is what you wanted, right? If you push that all the way, you have to be Superman to open it if you're on the inside. And if you're like a man with strength, an Israeli man who, eats, I don't know, Wheaties for breakfast and nails or something, then you can push it like that and then open it, and that's what the cops did. And they talk a lot, and they need that to talk for their report, and they always do follow-up with me in writing, but it gets tiresome because there's like 2 of them and 1 of me, and they talk fast. And so anyway, you cannot lock the door at all because that's as far as it closes, and you wanted to see it. So that's the door sign. It says, Ana al titfuku ala daladazo. Please don't knock at his door. Ich in sichot. Telephone, no telephone conversations. B'chot diburim. Let's talk. Kol dibur b'chol hasafot to me. Really, all the talking in all the languages always bothers me. I'll take the buiti bliti katluchta. Please don't talk to me unless you make an appointment in writing. In Yotzi min hakla, no exceptions. La fadam. No, for nobody. Ola kapdu et apoti utal. Please respect my privacy. Hata'at dibur to ad ladin yom nevarach tada. And it's like prayers, blessings. If you disregard the sign, and then you're going to go see me in court, or somebody will see you in court, not me, like a lawyer or a restraining order will come into effect, because this has happened over and over and over for 6 years almost. They don't read, they barge in, And it happened at the Dan, and I had a red light too, and it wasn't through you booking. I was there 12 nights, and I had that sign, or a similar sign on the door, and a red light and a do not disturb. And I told them, like, please don't knock on the door. To, like, 50 staff members over 12 days, and they not only knocked on the door for 30 minutes, but they made a lot of noise, and there were like two big Goonie guys out there, like bouncers, and a hotel manager, and she was like giving me notice to leave, and I'm like, what? I paid all month. What? You took the money from me and the dog, now you want to kick me out? So the cop explained to me what they were doing, and I said, I don't think that's legal. And so, there's a lawsuit against Dan Pan, which is bigly 17 branches, 17 hotels, luxury hotels, 5 stars. They are deep pocket. They're not supposed to do that stuff like that. Kick out service dogs in training, kick out old ladies in wheelchairs. There's like elevators that close on people. There's all sorts of stuff that's access violations. This is also, but it's not a deep pocket. Yehuda is supposed to be a nice guy, says David. I don't know. He wasn't very nice to me, but I don't know him. I didn't talk to him. I've never met him. I just, I'm documenting. You asked me to take a video. I don't want to make judgments about Yehuda. I'm not going to sue Yehuda. But I will tell the lawyer what happened and show him the pictures, because it's every single place I've rented in the last. Sartori did the same thing. I paid for a room. They wouldn't let me in the room. They yelled at me. I left. I called the police. There's a report about that. I'm tired of Israel. This doesn't happen anywhere else. It didn't happen the first 5 years I was here either. I got what I paid for. Nobody yelled at me. Well, they yelled, but they didn't deny me housing after I paid for it. And they have in the last 6 weeks. It's happened in each and every place. They didn't deny it here. Okay, he said he would probably want me to rent for another month or 2 or 3, but I don't think so. The place in Athens is a suite, and it doesn't cost a lot more. It costs like maybe a little less than double what this costs. Like, I think it's 1,500 euros. Okay, it's double. It's double for like 3 times the size, and I'll show you after I get there what it looks like, because it's not going to look like this. Okay, so you saw the door, can't lock. Now I can try to get my foot to stop shaking and put the rest of their stuff in their new blue suitcase. And I wish you a rest of the week of health and happiness and peace and prosperity for all of us, because, well, we need each other, and we got to trust each other. What people put in their description should be correct and accurate, and hopefully it will be for the next guest. At least they have a light bulb in the bathroom and a chair to sit in, and probably David is going to have to mop up, and I tried not to leave a mess, but I don't have a vacuum cleaner. So most of it is going to be clean, except for the corner where the desk is. It's very hard to open this door because they put the desk right there, and there's like, the chair, you can't open the door unless you put this chair under the desk. If you have Parkinson's, it could take a while. So I did tell him that, but he didn't know what it was, and he looked it up, and I think he just wanted to get money, and I needed a place to sleep after Dan Pan did what Dan Pan did. So, I'm more careful now when I select places, and I try to pay for at least a month, because it's very hard to move around with Parkinson's. And I got rid of the dog, or rather she got rid of herself. She ran out 2 days ago when this door, I don't want to talk about it. I invested like $2,000 in that dog, and then she ran out the door, and the animal control got her, and I don't have the strength to deal with it. So no dog, and it makes it easier for me to travel. And I already showed you the crate out there. I can show you what it looks like, actually. Might as well give you a little tour if I'm still recording it. Yeah. This runs right now, and it folds up, and it's going to fold up and go in a taxi, and I'll show you. See, it folds up. Anyway, I don't have strength to do that right now. The taxi driver can help me with that. So this is a nice garden, actually. No one uses it except me. I did yoga in the corner there, and I bought a mat. I was going to do where I go. This isn't really accessible, because if you're short, which I am relative to men, you can't reset the breakers. Who can reach that thing? There should be a step stool there. Get a step stool here. That's how they deliver the mail, and that's the crate that I'm really expensive. They can donate it. I don't know. I don't care anymore. I do care, but I can't do anything about it. So that's going to get folded more and put in the trunk of the vehicle. It's coming in 2 hours or less. So that's the entrance to Unit 9. And this is the gate where people come in and they basically try not to slam it, but it's hard not to slam it because the wind blows it in the slamming direction and makes a lot of noise. And if you're sitting here working or trying to sleep, it's not very conducive to working or sleeping because you hear the key in that lock every 5 minutes for hours all day long. And then people go to work in the morning for 2 hours and they come back for lunch and then the key is in the lock. And then there's a bang, bang, bang every 5 minutes for a while, all day long and then all night long. And he said it's a quiet street. Well, it's a matter of opinion. If you're an Israeli and you live in Tel Aviv, I guess you think it's quiet. Okay, this is getting too long. It's already 10 minutes, 11 minutes. It's not what you asked for, but it's a thorough, detailed review because that's the kind of gal I am. Detailed, I'm Virgo too. Born on a full moon in August. And I plan in minute detail, and that's why I worked for lawyers for so long, and I don't want to do it again. They're not nice people, that's why. It's a conflict. I'd rather give it to a lawyer instead of shaking my way through it. And they might be mediocre lawyer, but they still do a better job than I would being stressed out about it. So the floor is dry, but I've been wearing my overcoat most of the time I was here. It was freezing when I first got here. I bought a heater. It's over there. He's going to inherit that too. I think it's sitting there under that blanket, somewhere under that. The bags, the purple ones are staying, except for the one. If I can't shove everything in here, it's going to go in the purple bag, and I will still leave a purple bag. And somewhere under the purple bag is a space heater. It's too heavy to take with, but it works real good in the winter time. So he also gets a space heater. And I hope he's not going to complain bitterly about what a bitch I am. I try to be fair and not focus on anything personal because I don't know these people. They might be wonderful people. I just don't know. I'm just telling you what the building is like and the neighborhood, and there's some good things about it too. I try to tell you about some of those in this video. I wrote about the places I found and gave some of them 5 stars. For Renekes, I like it. They have a good borscht. It's not kosher, but delicious. The rest of it is not seasoned enough for me, but they're close by. Carrefour is a big grocery store. They're open at 7:30 in the morning until late at night. They got everything that you need to eat if you got patience to cook on that thing. I bought a little pot at the kitchen supply store that fits on there. That's not it. That's an ashtray. It's a bottle of vanilla. Yeah, I'm not going to take everything with me, but I'm going to clean that fridge if I can. If I can squat over there and find a sponge. I did buy a sponge. It's in the sink. I will clean the mess up there, but there's food in there that I can't take with because it's too much. So just give it away, eat it. I don't care. God has the ultimate bookkeeping and accounting powers. So whatever we do, whatever you do, there's still some other kind of accountant after that. There's like 3 light bulbs up in the ceiling. Those work. I don't know what this air conditioner does. The light's been on, but I don't see. It doesn't really get hot when it's cold or cold when it's hot. I got to figure out how to get that unplugged. This is my extension cord. And the rest of it is, what it is. It just needs to be maintained better. It's a cheap place in the middle of a town. It's a very convenient location. It's between a bunch of subway stations, lots of buses, taxis. You get them or stand out in the sidewalk and yell. And if you have a car, well, drive safely because it's very congested. But it's not hard to get. It's 15 minutes to the airport. It's going to cost 150 shekels, but that's because I have a lot of bags and a scooter, and I'm disabled and old, and they have to, help me get inside and go to the right place and get a trolley, and probably end up paying more than 150, but it's worth it. It's better to meet somebody and make friends with the first taxi driver that's nice to you and honest, and then use them and get their card and their number, their WhatsApp and their email and everything, all the contact info, because otherwise the rest, it's hit or miss. You're going to get someone You can just, it could take 45 minutes if you're disabled to get a taxi. It's my experience in Israel for almost 6 years. Okay, that's enough. 15 minutes. Goodbye. Take care. I'll be in touch. Don't worry. I'm not going to stop using Airbnb. Booking is not as cheap, and they also have reviews, but not always honest ones. I think Airbnb is more honest. At least I always am. And yeah, I had a place. I was a host for a while, and then I owned the place free and clear with no mortgage, and it was in Oregon. And the landlord said, no, read your land lease. You can't do that. You can't lease out our land or sublet it. And then that was the end of that. So, and then the first place I stayed in Akko for 10 months with Moshe Cohen. He had a very good arrangement with the government of Israel. He was paying like 100 shekels a month, outrageously, like $10 a month or $30 a month rent. And it wasn't good enough for him. And so he had a shrink that told him, well, your father spent his money, he spent so much time remodeling it, go write letters. And so he wrote letters to the government. And then they tried to evict him because they didn't want to read his letters. And so he wanted money back from the government. It's a crazy case that he has. He says, it's nuts, you're never going to get that. They're going to kick you out. Find another place if you don't like it. It's noisy. It was right on the train tracks. It was cheap. He was he was better than Yehuda. He was a nice man and eccentric, but who isn't? So I stayed there for 10 months and got to know each other pretty well. And at the end of the 10 months, the court told him you can't rent your place anymore into Airbnb people. And it's illegal and you're subletting and you can't do that. And I said, that's the same thing happened to me in Oregon. Told you so. But he was an Airbnb host for 7 years and he did pretty well. And he was disabled. He's also disabled. He's legally blind. And he used that Airbnb income to travel. And now I don't know what he's doing because they don't give you enough money to live on if you're disabled in Israel and you're not a dual or triple citizen. You barely get enough to eat. So I have no idea what he's doing, but he's not renting anymore to guests. He's not allowed to. It's too bad because it's like it's right next to the train station and it's got 5 rooms. And he was renting them all out and taking one for himself that has an ensuite in it. And there were 2 other bathrooms with showers and a big kitchen. And now he's not allowed to rent because he was basically greedy. He wanted more money. And now they raised his rent times 10 and they told him he can't do any Airbnb. And now he's stuck. And then I moved out right as that was happening to him. And he was